Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here at Banknote Trading, where we take a look at the US dollar pairs in the Forex market. Today, we'll stop and take a look at Euro USD on the 4-hour chart. Let's go and map out the current range. And this is obviously the range we've been dealing with. Of course, it's overall bullish. It was in this area of consolidation. Price came back down to that area of consolidation, got past this area of demand, made these highs. Made these highs, and it got past this area of demand, but then prior step back up, looks like a V-shaped recovery. Now it's reacting in this since it turned bearish internally, broke structure to the downside. It is in this area of supply that kept pushing price down. Like I said, it was a V-shaped recovery, and now we're in consolidation right now. Just waiting to see if there's any type of fundamental news that'll push the dollar. I know there's a lot of job information coming out. Also, the government shutdown. It costs markets to shift overnight, but we're going to see the eventual outcome of that. If the dollar does get weaker, then we can expect this to go ahead and target the highs to the overall range, take out the liquidity of these highs, and continue price in a higher direction. But right now, just waiting to see it break out of this area of consolidation. Only looking for any type of buying opportunity, regardless, because of the overall swing structure is bullish. GBP USD, let's go and map out the current range. Of course, this had made a higher low here, broke out past these highs, then seller step back in, broke to the downside. And as you can see, internally it had started making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. Came back down to this higher low. From these lows, you know what I'm saying, yesterday, it could continue to retrace back down further. But right now, it has had a recovery, a V-shaped recovery, just like with Euro USD. Came back in to this area of internal supply, which price had reacted from previously, and consolidated there, and now it has broken past this high. You can see there's going to be a big momentum shift in that direction to continue to take out these highs on this side. And I'll be looking to have a buying opportunity if it does form an internal higher low from this point. Like I said, it's just consolidation. It could be considered a higher low from these lows, but waiting to see if there's any type of momentum that pushes this higher. I'll be looking for a buying opportunity once it gets past these areas of supply that push price down in the first place. So overall, just waiting to see if there is bullish momentum and any type of opportunity to buy if it does retrace on its way back up, because this could be considered that, like I said, that higher low from the previous lows, target the highs at the overall range. Then DXY. And the dollar started to push higher. Buyer step back in. This area was consolidation before. Overall swing structure bearish, because it retraced all the way back down to these lows. But I was saying previously that this could be just a liquidity sweep, and buyers started to step back in, broke structure to the upside, still, like I said, in the area of consolidation. So internally making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. And now we started to retrace a bit. And like I said, we're waiting to see how the government shutdown impacts these markets, because it did start to break structure back down to the downside. Could continue its bearish swing structure. If it does that, if it does start to push and then form a lower high from these highs internally, then I'll be looking for a selling opportunity to target these lows, because like I said, this could be a liquidity sweep for the buyers, but waiting to see if it does play out that way, because this did push it at least to this area of resistance. But now we're waiting to see if this is just corrective back down, and see if this area of demand can continue pushing prices higher, or if we can continue pushing down and target the liquidity sitting under these lows. AUD USD, let's go map out the current range. This is the more bullish pair. This could be forming this higher low from these lows, because these lows is the swing. It's a swing structure, made the swing structure bullish when they made these highs. So let's step back in. And this could be the higher low. Prices just got past this area of supply internally that pushed prices lower. This area of supply, push prices lower. Now it looks like we may break out of that. It looks like an impulsive push when buyers step back in from this area. Like I said, I mean, there's liquidity sitting on these lows, but if it does start to break structure to the upside, which it is starting to do, and get past this area of demand, I would look for any type of buying opportunity. It looks like it's consolidating right here, right now. It does start to push higher. I would expect it to go ahead and target the highs of the overall range, making this, like I said, the higher low from these lows previously. And with this momentum, kind of a V-shape and impulse push up toward higher prices, I'll be expecting it to go ahead and target the highs of the overall range. NZD USD, let's go map at the current range. This one looks way more bearish than the other pairs, because of course that New Zealand economy news previously, of course, making swing structure bearish. Lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and now we see a corrective pattern as the dollar gets weaker. Could look at this as just an ascending channel, waiting to see on the direction of where price can go from here. Like I said, if it does retrace back, it would have to get past this area of supply, which is at now, that continue to push prices down. But if it can do a full retracement back up into premium, that would be ideal, or trace back up into premium, and then a bearish momentum signal, and not take any type of selling opportunity to target the lows of the overall range. But it may just get choppy right now and corrective in nature. Waiting to see if any type of momentum will pick up in any direction. GBP AUD, let's go map out the current range. I believe I have the entire range still here. And though I say this, this 4-hour chart, but this does go back to August. Technically, this is the lower high that broke these lows of the previous structure. So this could be considered, even though this is all, like I said yesterday, it's all choppy. Of course, structure broke to the downside, structure continued retrace, broke to the downside, but prices back into this area of consolidation. But like I was saying, since this was the lower high that broke these lows, you can consider this more of the 4-hour structure. But it's just choppy. It's not really given trending market, as it's just consolidating and going back and forth. You want to see a good trend would be when it retraces, goes down, retraces, and then cleanly goes back down. It's more in a channel. Descending channel going back down. But waiting to see if this was a sweep, if it can retrace back into this discount area. Not real clean setup. I mean, this area of supply also to look out for, but no real clean setup. As I was saying, we want the trending price action to be more clean. But technically still bearish, swing structure bearish, breaking structure to the downside. And it could just be retracing right now. Looking at the opportunity to sell theoretically, but just wait for better price action. GBP NZD, let's go map out the current range. And same with this pair and these two pairs, cross pairs that may stop covering just due to the lack of movement and how long it takes for price action to develop. But we know that this came all the way back after these buyers stepped back in after that news on the New Zealand economy. Took out all these supply areas, took out the highs of this previous structure. I was pushing prices back down. Then it retraced, made a higher low from these lows, and I guess previous lows also. And it started to break structure to the upside, took out this high, waiting to see if it takes out this lower high, which I had made this whole structure bearish because of this high way back in April. But like I said, this is the 4-hour chart is not really the 4-hour structure. The 4-hour structure is more localized, this being bullish. Right from here, with these lows being made, higher high, higher low, higher high, waiting to see if it takes out this lower high. Looks like it's corrective right now, possibly forming a bull flag, waiting to see any momentum pick up in order to take out this lower high. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you for joining us.